Kiddushin 70a. She may not eat. The Mishnah teaches that converts and emancipated slaves ascended from Babylonia. The Gemara asks, from where do we derive this? Rav Chisda says, as the verse states with regard to the eating of the paschal offering upon the return to Eretz Yisrael, and the children of Israel who had come back from the exile ate, and all such as had separated themselves to them from the impurity of the nations of the land to seek the Lord, the God of Israel, did eat. Ezra 6:21, indicating that converts and emancipated slaves who had abandoned the impurity of the nations of the land, in other words, idolatry, joined Ezra. The Mishnah taught that mamzerim were among those who ascended from Babylonia. The Gemara asks, from where do we derive this? The Gemara answers, as it is written, and Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, heard. Nehemiah 2:19. And elsewhere it is written with regard to Tobiah the Ammonite, for there were many in Judah sworn to him because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah the son of Arah, and his son Yehochanan had taken the daughter of Meshulam the son of Berechiah. Nehemiah 6:18. The Gemara proceeds to explain. The Tana holds that in the case of a Gentile or a slave who engaged in sexual intercourse with a Jewish woman, the offspring is a mamzer. Since Tobiah the Ammonite, a Gentile, married a Jewish woman, as did his son, there were clearly mamzerim among those who ascended. The Gemara asks, this works out well according to the one who says that in that case the offspring is a mamzer. But according to the one who says that the lineage of the offspring is unflawed and has the status of the mother, what can be said? And furthermore, from where is it clear that Yehochanan had offspring from his wife? Perhaps he did not have offspring, and it is possible that there were no mamzerim. And furthermore, even if they did not have offspring, even if they did have offspring, from where is it clear that they had offspring here in Babylonia, who then ascended to Eretz Yisrael? Perhaps they were there in Eretz Yisrael at that time, all the time, as they may have been one of the families that was not exiled to Babylonia, and therefore they cannot be used as the proof that mamzerim ascended from Babylonia. Rather, the proof that mamzerim were among those who ascended from Babylonia is from here. And these were they that ascended from Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Cheruv, Adon, and Immer. But they could not tell their fathers' houses, nor their offspring, whether they were of Israel. Nehemiah 7:61. The Gemara explains that these are names. These names are to be interpreted as follows: Tel Melah, Tel Melach. These are people whose licentious actions were similar to the act of Sodom, which was turned into a mound of salt, which is Melach. Tel Charsha. These are people. This is referring to one who calls a man father, and his mother silences him, as the word Charsha is similar to Maharishto, meaning silences him. In any event, the statement that there were those who acted licentiously as did the people of Sodom means that there were mamzerim among them. The Gemara continues with its explication of the verse, but they could not tell their father's house, nor their offspring, whether they were of Israel. This is referring to a foundling who is gathered from the marketplace. Such a person does not even know if he is Jewish, and he has no knowledge of his parents. With regard to the names Cheruv, Adon and Imer, Rabbi Abahu says that these terms should be expounded as follows. The master, Adon, God, said, I said that the Jewish people shall be as important before me as a cherub. Kruv. But they made themselves impudent as a leopard. Namer. They are those who say a different version. Rabbi Bahu said the master, Adon, in other words Hashem, said that although they made themselves as a leopard, Namer, they are important to me as a cherub. A kruv. Explicating the same verse, Rabbi Bar Barchana says, in the case of anyone who marries a woman who is not suited for him to marry due to her lineage, the verse ascribes to him blame as though he plowed, harash, all of the entire world and sowed it with salt, melach, as it is stated with regard to those of flawed lineage who ascended from Babylonia. And these were they that ascended from Tel Melach, Tel Harsha. Rabba Bar Rav Ada says that Rav says, in the case of anyone who marries a woman of flawed lineage only for the sake of money, he will have offspring who will act inappropriately, as it is stated, they have dealt treacherously against the Lord, for they have begotten strange children. B'Hashem bagdu ki banim zarim yaladu. Now shall the new moon devour them with their portions. See Hosea 5:7. Rabbi Bar Ada explains the verse, and lest you say that at least the money that they received as dowry was spared, although they suffer from the acts of their offspring, the verse states, now shall the new moon devour them with their portions, meaning their property shall be consumed in a single month, and lest you say his portion will be lost, but not the portion of his wife, the verse states their portions, in the plural. And lest you say this will occur after a long time, but in the interim he will benefit from the money, the verse states the new moon. The Gemara asks, from where may be inferred that their money will be lost immediately? Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak said, a month comes and a month goes, and their money is already lost. In any event, the fact that the punishment they receive is the loss of their portions indicates that the sin in this case was marrying for the sake of money. And Rabba Bar Rav Ada says, and some say Rabbi Salah says, that Rav Hamnuna says, in the case of anyone who marries a woman who is not suited for him to marry due to her lineage, Elijah binds him in the manner that those liable to receive lashes are bound, and the Holy One, blessed be He, straps him. And a sage taught, concerning all of them, Elijah writes, and the Holy One, blessed be He, signs the following, woe to he who disqualifies his offspring, and who brings a flaw to his family lineage, and who marries a woman who is not halakhically suited for him to marry. Elijah binds him, and the Holy One, blessed be He, straps him. He further said, and anyone who disqualifies others by stating their lineage is flawed, that is a sign that he himself is flawed. V'chol ha'posel pasul. Bemumo posel. Shmuel said, Bemumo posel. Whoever disqualifies others by stating their lineage is flawed, that is a sign that he himself is flawed lineage. Another indication that one's lineage is flawed is that he never speaks in praise of others. And Shmuel says, if one habitually claims that others are flawed, he disqualifies himself with his own flaw. The flaw that he accuses them of having is in fact the one that he has. The Gemara recounts a related incident. There was a certain man from Narda who entered a butcher shop in Pumbedita. He said to them, give me meat. They said to him, wait until a servant of Rabbi Yehuda Bar Yecheskel has taken his meat, and then we will give it to you. The man said to them in anger, who is this Yehuda Bar Sheviskel, a derogatory name for a glutton for meat, so that he should precede me, that he should take before me? They went and told Rabbi Yehuda, what that man had said. Rabbi Yehuda excommunicated him in accordance with the halacha of one who disparages a Torah scholar. They also said to him that the same man was in the habit of calling people slaves. Rabbi Yehuda proclaimed about him that he is a slave and may not marry a Jew. The Gemara continues the story. That man went and summoned Rabbi Yehuda to judgment before Rav Nachman, who was a judge in Arda. When the summons arrived in Pumbedita, Rav Yehuda went before Rav Huna to seek his counsel. Rav Yehuda said to him, "Should I go or should I not go?" Rav Huna said to him, "As for the obligation to go, you are not required to go, since you are a great man, and therefore you are not under the jurisdiction of Rav Nachman's court. But due to the honor of the exilarch's house, as Rav Nachman was the son-in-law of the exilarch, get up and go." Rav Yehuda arrived in Arda and found Rav Nachman constructing a parapet. Rav Yehuda said to Rav Nachman, "Does the master not hold in accordance with that halacha that Rav Huna bar Edi says, that Shmuel says, once a person has appointed a leader of a community, he is prohibited from performing labor before 3 people, so that he has not belittled the honor of his position?" Rabbi Nachman said to him, "It is merely a little fence, gundarita, that I am constructing." Rabbi Yehuda said to him, "Is the term ma'akeh, which is written in the Torah, or corresponding term mechitza, which the sages said, distasteful to you? Why do you use a term that is used by neither the Torah nor the sages?" During their meeting, Rav Nachman said to him, "Let the master sit on the bench, the karfita." Rav Yehuda said to him, "Is the term safsal, which the sages said, or the word itzteva, which common people say, distasteful to you? Why are you using uncommon terms?" Rabbi Nachman then said to him, "Let the master eat a citron, etronga." Rabbi Yehuda said to him, "This is what Shmuel said. Anyone who says etronga demonstrates 1/3 of a haughtiness of spirit. Why? He should say either etrog, as the sages called it, or etroga, as common people say in Aramaic. Saying etronga is a sign of snobbery, as it was employed by the aristocratic class." He subsequently said to him, "Let the master drink a cup and baga of wine." Rabbi Yehuda said to him, "Is the term asparagus, as the sages called it, or anpak, as common people say, distasteful for you?" Later on, Rav Nachman said to him, "Let my daughter Donag come and pour us drinks." Rav Yehuda said to him, "This is what Shmuel says. One may not make use of a woman for a service such as this." Rabbi Nachman replied, "She is a minor." Rabbi Yehuda retorted, "Shmuel explicitly says one may not make use of a woman at all, whether she is an adult or a minor." Later on, Rav Nachman suggested, "Let the master send greetings of peace to my wife, Yalta." Rabbi Yehuda said to him, "This is what Shmuel says. A woman's voice is considered nakedness, and one may not speak with her." Rav Nachman responded, "It is possible to send your regards with a messenger." Rabbi Yehuda said to him, "This is what Shmuel says."